Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza Creates. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to part 4, I think it is, of these journals that I'm making using no digitals, all original ephemera, and I'm using books as well. I needed to add colour. I think in my last video I did use some Edith Holden books in here, and I've used this book as well. It's been invaluable, this sampler book. I think I made some pockets. I've used it for journaling cards and things as well. It's just lovely. It's got these wonderful pictures of samplers which are old, although the book's not old. Okay, so let me show you. You can see the difference. I finished that one, apart from the sewing in, because I'm going to do a separate video on that, and the decorating of the cover. But this one's all finished, so I kind of knew what to do in this one. So we are doing the tags and the journaling cards in this video, and a few little page edge decorations. So this one's done. This is my point of reference, but no spoilers yet, because obviously I will do a flip through. So you saw in the last video me showing you how I did my slot pockets. So I went ahead and made them for this, and then I've put in some genuine ephemera. These are some old tickets, and they're made of card. That's really thick. That's like chipboard, that. This is a ticket from the Manx Electric Railway. So that's the Isle of Man, isn't it? I think. So yeah, 17 pence. So it's not old because it's pence. So it's past 1970. Was it 6 when we did decimalisation? But you know, it's fairly old. Got one of me playing cards there, and a old cigarette card there. That's a lady about 1800. And in here I've put a little photo. It's got no writing on the back. I think the other one has, but I thought that was cool. I liked the way the colours sort of went, and then I made another one of those flip things, and I liked the way that colour went. It went nicely with that ticket. So we've got that sort of poking out there, so you can see it, and I matched those with it. And I did this one similar. We've got there, that's a theatre from Johannesburg, that is, but I like the colour. I thought that went really well. It's been ripped off. 1944 that ticket is. Put a red card in this one. I kind of matched up, so I put a little gentleman there. That's a doctor, about 1790 that is. And I sort of was matching up his coat and waist jacket there. And then in here, because I've got a man there, I put a little man in there. No writing in there. And then I've done this little flip. I've chosen that. So one of the flip pads are in the yellow and one's in the blue. So I did that. And then the other thing I made was, which I showed you in the last video, was I made the tags using the piano roll. I did this one a little bit different. I made it wider and decorated it slightly different. The other one I utilised the slots, but this one I didn't. And so that's a court lady from 1775. I like the way the blues kind of went with that one. And on this one, it's a bit more red. You're not in that one, you're in that one. So did it sort of similar style, but picked out the red in that, and I've used this paper there to match up. So those you've seen before. So we're going to make the journaling cards for these bits. So we need 4. So I did that one quite easy. I've done a bit of prep to hopefully make this a bit easier to show you. So I used this paper from that sampler book for it. I've chosen this one because it's got like greens and yellows in it, and I thought that would go well with the map. I have used the book page. So I did it, so I glued 2 book pages together, and it gives it quite nice thickness. This book the pages are a lot thicker than the yellow book. That even with the yellow book sticking 2 together, it was like one of these. So I've cut them. Now it depends on the size of your pocket. I will just let you know. So I've done these 3 inches by 4 3/4. It's more or less, it was the width of the book. So I've got this strip, and I'm just going to stick them all down like so. I'm going to do it that way. So I've got more white here, so that I'm then just going to stick a bit of, do it that way, a bit of, I suppose that way's better, just a little bit of piano roll, I think, on the back. So that is simply what I'm doing for that one. This is my board, and I've covered it with one of those sort of blending matte, heat resistant matte things that I've got. Just found that it made it easier for traveling. If this sort of killed 2 birds with 1 stone, so that I've got a board on one side, and then I've got this sort of sticky mat on the other, and it saved me getting too sticky when I do lots of master boards when I'm traveling, and it saved me getting too sticky because glue just wipes off. And I just sat and thought, why don't I use it on my own desk? So any glue that's on there just wipes off, and then it keeps it nice and clean. And so yeah, I thought, well, why don't I use it at home? So I'm just gonna stick that down like that. That seemed to be the quickest way to stick that down. And then I'm just going to repeat for the others. So there they are, all stuck down, and I was trying to make sure that they were sort of straight to the edge, so then I know the pattern's sort of right. So now we're just going to chop them down. That's what I like my little guillotine for this. So put it on the edge, and I can chop it down. I'm just gonna got my glasses on here so that I can see it well. I'm actually just gonna do these like that because it's easier actually to deal with just a single one at a time. So that one needs a little bit of adjustment there. There we go. And then I can butt it up there. That's much better now. Take that edge off because that wasn't quite right. Doesn't matter if I make it slightly smaller now. There we go. So that is that. And then I bring in my corner punch here, and I'm just cutting each of the corners like so, and that is our journaling card, and I just need to stick something on the back. So I'm going to do the rest of these. I've got some nice little corners there which I keep in a little jar, which is getting very, very full. I've got some little strips I keep for some Cory clusters, so I keep them, dumping them. Okay, so I'm going to carry on and do the rest. Okay, so they're all done. So we just need to cover the backs, so we've got somewhere to write on. I'm going to use piano roll for this. I don't mind that it's got the lines on it. I quite like it. I think it's gives it quite a nice sort of look. You can go down the sides and take these ones. I like the look of having those dots on it. I think I might be able to get 2 out of that actually. So I just got it on there. Just gonna rip it up there a bit, trying to see a 90-degree angle there as a rip. Going to do that slightly over where I want to be, because I want that ripped edge on that side as well. I'm going to come down here, just rip that off, easier to play with then, and we'll just come along here. We've got that bit there. I want a little ripped edge on that side, because then it's a bit fluffier. Get away, Cory clusters. So that is what we're doing there. And then of course we have to ink. It's the law. Obviously you don't have to ink. And I did think, using sort of old vintage stuff, that maybe I wouldn't ink because it's already aged, but it's just not in me. It's just, I'd have to tie my hands behind me back to make sure that didn't happen, and I just can't. Remember when I was teaching, and the kids used to say, can you possibly talk without moving your hands? It's like, no, I don't think I can. Because they say you just use your hands all the time when you're speaking. So they had me, I had to sit on my hat, so I had to sit on my hands, and so I, you know, I never sat behind a desk. Desk was never in front of the board. It was always to the one side. I was not that sort of teacher. So I had to sit on a table on my hands, and then, you know, teach them the next section. And it was so difficult. It was really, really difficult. And I found myself, in the end, my hands came out, and I was just like, nah, I can't do it. Just can't do it. So they was all laughing at me. But yeah, so I'm a bit like that with the inking. Just my hands just go for the dauber, and that's that. But yeah, it's now, I had some Facebook reminders. It's now 6 years since I left teaching. 6 whole years. Can't believe it. 6 years of being a full-time YouTuber and crafter. Oh, I've loved every minute of it. So thank you all for allowing me to be here, because without people watching, interacting, liking, subscribing, commenting, buying things off me, I wouldn't be able to afford to do this. So yeah, thank you very much. It is much appreciated. And there we go. So that is how I'm going to do the rest. So I'm going to finish all the rest off camera, and then we'll pop them into the journal. So they're all done, and so we just have to put them in. So some of them have got little holes in, some going one way, some going the other. I think I did that one with, well, I did one of them with you. So now we just have to put them in place. So find my little map page there. Let's just having a little look-see to see what might go better. So just pop it in there. I like the way that looks. And you know, we've got a pocket there as well in that paper. And then I'm going to put the yellow on that side there. Or should I go for that one? It's got a bit more blue in it to go with the blue sea there. Yeah, liking that. And then find the map here. That one there. And put that one in there. So that's those done. So the next thing we're going to do is the Edith Holden tags. I did make them matching to be Edith Holden there. So I went through my Edith Holden book and picked out ones ready. So I was quite simple with my Edith Holden tags. I decided not to do anything with them other than back them, and just this one was an upward tag, so I just rounded the corners. This one is an ordinary tag, so I did my tag topper, added a little bit of scrap fabric there for that one. So that is what we're doing. Again there, just simple. I've matched up the butterflies there and backed it. I have some cream tea dyed paper which goes really well with Edith Holden, so I've used that. And then the other way that I've used Edith Holden is to wrap round the book page that's in the book. I just made a little fold out like so. So I've been quite careful with the pages that I have chosen, so that I can do that with, so that it's will one folded have a nice picture on both sides. I thought that broke that sort of page up quite nicely, and gave a little sort of splash of colour and some extra journaling space. So we have to make 4 tags and 4 of those wraps. So there is the book pages there that we're wrapping around. So I picked out some Edith Holden pages ready, because that type of thing always takes quite a long time for me, I find. So this one I thought would be a good wrap round. So we've got blackcurrant on, they're not blackcurrants, they're elderberries actually, on both sides. So that's why I chose that one. That the same, that section there, I thought the same. I think, yeah, I went for that. So we have a bird on one side and some yellow flowers on the other. And this one, I thought we could have those flowers on one side, and then we'll have the 4 Maids of February on that side. So that's that. This one I thought a tag. I have a tag there already, but I thought it was quite plain, so I did pick out enough. I thought that would be a nice tag. There's no pictures on the other side. Could do some autumn leaves, although I might save that. I'm doing an autumn journal. So this one, that's quite a nice tag. I'd sacrifice the bird, but he's quite big, or I could use that side again. So there were sort of options that I can use. So I did pick out more than I actually needed. I love that as a tag. It does depend on what's on the pockets as well. I liked that one. So that was my process of deciding what I wanted. Now I've chosen a different book page to the one I put in the other, so I think it's a little bit shorter. So let me just measure this so that I know how big I need to make it. So this is 4 3/4. So if I do it about 4 inches, and then no more than 3.5 that way. Let's just check that this book page is the same. There he is. Yeah. Well, that one's got to be less than 3.5, 3 1/4. So if we do them both 3 1/4, so that's 6.5. So if we take this one, so I kind of want top of those flowers. I can see where I cut, so I'm moving it that side. So that's that. So then we want to be, what did I say? My memory's shocking. I've forgotten already what I want it to be. Yeah, so I want it to be about 4 inches. So that's 4 inches. Yeah, that's very cool. And then I want to be about 6.5. So that's cool. That'll take that off there quite nicely. Oh, now if I want to see the 4 Maids, that's going to have to fold there. Let me just see what that would be like. So it doesn't matter that it's not even, it's just whether or not it's too long on the other side. Let's see what that's like. So if that's going like that, it is quite long there, but I can trim a little bit off that edge. Just gonna have to trim a little bit off there for that to fit in. Yeah, that'll work. That will work indeed. So that's that one offset, but the others are not going to be offset like that. So I'll do another one so that you can see. So we're going to go 4 inches tall. Might leave the whole of that bottom in. No, because I quite like to see if I can get that. See. Yeah, so we'll take a bit off the bottom there. There we go. Take that to 4. Oh, you're going to chop the bird off completely. So I might actually go under the bird. Just clip his wing a little tad, because that's still usable, maybe as a pocket or something. So I'll just take that edge off there. Probably about 6.5. It is about 6.5. So now we can just fold this one in half. So we've got that on that side. That's quite pretty. That on that side. And oh, it doesn't say what they are. So some of them on the pages you had written what they are, and that's what I kind of used sort of on there, but I'll have to find something else to put in there. What have we got on this one? I could take something out here. I could find something that would go on there. So that's those. And then what I did was I took my corner rounder and I rounded the corners to give a nice sort of booklet look. This one, I'm going to have to do it a little bit different because it's offset. There we go. And then I just used my cream tea dyed paper to cover the inside, and that's how I made those little pockets. And as I say, I took something out of here that so I was just going to sort of look and see. Is that a primrose? It might be. So I'm thinking I've decided that's primrose. Whether it is or not, I really don't know. So I'm gonna, no, the others are snowdrops, I think. Don't think that says snowdrop anywhere, does it? Oh, it does. What's on to the side? I'm going to put snowdrop on that side with the robin. I haven't got a robin, have I? Love a robin. No, so we're going to take snowdrop on here. So on the others, I was able to use the description of what it actually was from the page, but this one, I can't do that. So, might have a little snowdrop. I'm going to put primrose. I just didn't want to use, I've got lots of digital words that, you know, we like to put on our tags and things, but I didn't want to use any digital. So I was making do with what I've got. So that'd be nice on there. Let me move these out way so we can see what we're doing. So if I just show you on this one, give it an inky up, and obviously we're going to ink round all of the edges. I then took this lovely punch here, and I might use this scrap. I think I used piano paper on the other one, but I think I might use this scrap of the tea dyed paper. So just created a little border. This kind of punch is running as a bit of a theme through the journal, which I like. Gives it some continuity. Right, trying to match that up, and I'm failing, partly because that I'm punched out so I can't see. I think I was lined up there. There, maybe I wasn't. Sometimes when the paper's a bit thinner, punches don't like them, so you have to put another bit of paper down with it. You do with the piano roll. It's far too thin. I generally do two at the same time. So there we go, got that. So we can stick that on there. So I'm going to take that bit off, that bit off, bit down there. So just something a little bit pretty on there. We will ink this. Because that's how we roll. So a little bit glue. Need to fill this, otherwise that's really going to annoy me. Get my snowdrop. Get that off a bit more. There we go. Ready to go on there. Just something really simple. Letting the Edith Holden picture really steal the show. Like so. And then on the other side. And if that's not a primrose, it really don't matter, does it? There we go. And so then we just need our bit on the inside. So I'm going to get my longer ruler for that. So match that up there. Come along here. Doing it in two halves. So take that one down there, and take that one down there. That is perfect. So just gonna ink down those edges and stick them down. So that's that all done, and then there's a few little bits of glue I managed to pick up. I should have wiped my board, but I didn't. That comes off quite nicely, and then we just find the bit of book page that it's going to go round. Nice big bit of journaling there. And then to hold it in place, just use a little paper clip. So I got these. I bought this whole box of, I think it's 100 in there, for about the same price as a well-known brand where you get hardly any in. But these ones do have a little heart. But actually I thought that's quite cute. So that holds on there, and then on that side you can see the wee heart. I might put it down more in the middle on this one so that it's not obscuring that. So I think that looks quite cute there. So I'll do all 4 of them in exactly the same way, so you know how those are made. So now we come to the tags. So I think most of them have got a bit of yellow in, so choosing my tag for there, I wanted to choose some with a bit of yellow-ish. So what shall I put in there? I'm actually liking that sort of spiky with that. I think that goes quite well. So I checked on sort of how wide that pocket was. So by putting that down there, it stops where the glue is. So I can take my ruler and sort of measure across there from that point to that point, and it's like 2 3/4. So I'm going to go to just below 2 3/4 for the width, and our height is going to be about 6 3/4. So just under 2 3/4 by 6 3/4 is what I'm gonna do. So so I want to have I might put these words on it, so I might come up here to allow me to use those words. So we'll go across here, so that's 2 3/4. We're going to come back 1/8, I think, to give us our width. So we'll double check that. It needs to be slightly less. We'll get the height we want. I'm thinking I want most of this in my height. So we'll do our 6 3/4 first, and we'll just take a little smidge off the end. That now slips in quite nicely. It is too tall, take another 1/4 of an inch off, I think. Maybe a tad more. Yep, that'll be grand. Let me just check for the other side, so then I could use exactly the same measurements for the other one. So that is, I'm going to move that to over there because I might use those words. Let's clear myself some space. So I'm going to bring back my bit of tea dyed cream paper, and I'm just going to glue it directly to this, and then we'll just cut it out and shape it, and ink and everything all in one go. I was doing it slightly, I was like ripping them, and then I just decided for ease and to get an even level of strength around the tag, get that bleh out. I just felt this was a bit better in hindsight. So do that, rub off my mat, get rid of all my sticky glue that's left on, and we will stick this down, and I've got the ends of the paper to sort of match up with. There we go. Edith Holden illustrations are just stunning. You sort of can't go wrong really with them. They're just so lovely. And I am very lucky to have found numerous books. I think UK junk journalers do have that advantage of being able to find them. I know that they're highly sought after in other parts of the world, and very, very expensive, but the this one I paid £2 for. Some I have paid £1.50 for. I know some people have picked them up for 50p. I have never been that lucky that I've found them for 50p, but yeah. And whenever I see them, I've only ever left one on the shelf, and that was the other weekend because they wanted £7.50 for it, and I'm like, no, I'm actually not doing this on the trimmer. It's easier, I find, to use a guillotine when you're cutting like this. So we have to bring the big guns out for this one because it's too big for my little one. So I'll match up along there. Cut down, that's going to need re-trimming because I think that was quite straight. Okay. And that was definitely not straight. There we go. So that's that all nicely done. Move these bits off and let me rubbish away. And then I bring in my it's still slightly wet, so punchers don't especially like it when we go in and it's slightly wet. That's That's better. I'm going to use my thing there and round the corners. And then we'll just ink round all that. I will probably put this under a book to flatten, because I haven't left it to dry and I've been fiddling with it. I've kind of buckled it a little bit. Normally I just leave them to dry before I do anything with them, and then it's a matter of putting a bit of ribbon in them. I'm just double checking what I decided to do last time. I kind of chose ribbon depending on the tag I chose. Yeah. So and what sort of colour would look good? I think a nice yellow ribbon in that. If I can remember where I put my yellow ribbon spool. It's there. Oops. A few little crash bang wallops. I think that would be nice. So what I like to do, fold my ribbon in half about how I want it, snip that to match, feed that through there, and then take a bit of twine. I've got this twine here that's was white, I just coloured it. I hope I've left myself a long enough length. Feed that in there. Tie a knot at 90 degrees to where I want the bow to sit. There we go. And then it should sit where you want it. If I can actually grab. There we go, and then I just fiddle a bit. And then I usually pull these apart. And that is it's now slightly tighter, probably because I put a second layer on it. Sometimes you just gently put in a ruler, can work it a little bit so it'll slip in. There you go, that worked. And that is how I did those tags. So I've got 4 of them to do, and 3 more of them to do, and 3 more of them to do. So I'll get them done off camera. Okay, so I've finished making all the tags and journaling cards, and I really just got time to show you what I've done. I'm going to have to bring you another video for the other bits of decoration that I've done with fabric, because we've run out of time. So that is that first tag, and then obviously we flip, and then that's the tag on the back. Being careful to sort of try and match up with the pockets, so I kind of went for the spiky leaves there, and I felt that that bird, it's just got tea-dyed paper on the back, I thought that bird went with the colours that I've chosen for these pockets. And then on the back there, obviously I haven't decorated there at all. I've gone again for similar shaped leaves. And then the other thing we did was these little cards there. I didn't put any writing on the front of that. I didn't think I needed it. I thought that looked quite nice as it was. And then just paper there on the inside. Little paper clip. Flip you over. And that's that one. I think that's so cute. I do love a robin. And it's the same on the inside. And then on this one, we've got a lovely butterfly. And on the other side, we have this evergreen. And we'll just flip that to there with our elderberries. There we go. And of course we did our journaling cards for our map pages. So that was this video done. So one more video on using fabric, and then we'll do the sewing in the signatures, putting something on the inside cover and decorating the cover. So yeah, it looks like 2 more episodes to go. I'll link down below to the other episodes in this series, and hope you like my ideas, and I hope you're following along. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe.